What are my options? Learning the rules of golf. This is lesson 4, where we will see how to take relief from water hazards, including lateral water hazards. Remember from lesson 3 that before you are entitled to take relief under this rule, you must first either know or be virtually certain your ball is in the hazard. If you are entitled to use this rule, we're going to find out what options you have, all under penalty of 1 stroke. These options are all available under Rule 26-1. Rule 26-1A is available on both yellow and red marked water hazards and allows you to play a ball under penalty of stroke and distance. This means you would need to play a ball from the spot you last played, or where you played from when you hit your ball into the hazard. How you do this depends on where your last stroke was made from. If your last stroke was from the teeing ground, you can play a ball anywhere from within the teeing ground, and you may use a tee. If you last played from the putting green, a ball must be placed on the spot of your last stroke. If you're not sure where this was, you'll place a ball on an estimated spot. And from everywhere else, that would be through the green or from a hazard, you would drop a ball. And just like on the putting green, if you don't know exactly where that spot was, you would estimate that spot and drop there. Rule 26-1B is also available for both yellow and red marked water hazards. This rule allows you to drop a ball under penalty of 1 stroke behind the water hazard, keeping the point where the ball last crossed the margin of the water hazard between you and the hole. There is no limit to how far back you can drop the ball on this line, and often dropping closer to the hole will put you in an awkward lie in the rough, and you may be better off looking back farther to see if you might find a nice level lie in the fairway. Let's look at our 3D golf hole to explain this option a little bit better. So this is the place where we made our stroke, and we hit it a little bit left, and we ended up in this lateral water hazard. The same option would be available for a yellow marked hazard as well. So what we're looking at here is trying to determine where we last crossed into the hazard. Remember, water hazards, their margins go up and down. So where our ball crossed into this hazard, and this is the last point that it crossed in, that's our point of crossing. So that is one reference point, and I have drawn a line from where it last crossed down to the ground. You would take that point, and you would take the hole up here, and you would make a straight line and continue on that straight line and drop behind the water hazard. You can go back as far as you would like. And remember, a little farther back might be a better option than right up next to the hazard. Rule 26-1C can only be used when your ball has crossed a red marked lateral water hazard. This rule can provide up to 2 options. The first option allows you to drop a ball outside the hazard, not nearer the hole, and within 2 club lengths of where your ball last crossed the margin of the lateral water hazard. So this is a close-up of that picture we just showed. This is the point of last crossing. Remember, our ball was played from the tee, ended up in the hazard. It's a red marked hazard, so we can measure 2 club lengths, no closer to the hole. So this is our 2 club lengths away. We can't drop closer to the hole than this point, and we must drop outside the hazard. So we can drop anywhere within this margin. Remember, this option's only available for red marked water hazards. Those are lateral water hazards. The second option under this rule, and your 4th water hazard option, is also only available for red marked water hazards. And this option allows you to drop a ball under penalty of 1 stroke, not nearer the hole and within 2 club lengths from the point on the opposite margin of the water hazard that's equidistant from the hole. This one's a little more complicated, and it's a good one to know. We're going to switch to a different hole real quick, and we'll look at this on the overhead. So this is our point of last crossing. Again, we played from the tee, and we hit it left into the water hazard. Our point of last crossing, we just learned we can drop within 2 club lengths if that was red marked, no closer to the hole, outside the hazard. This rule also gives you the option to drop on the opposite margin, and it says equidistant from the hole. What that means is if from the hole to where you last crossed was 100 yards, on the opposite margin from the hole to that opposite margin at 100 yards, you can also drop within 2 club lengths no closer to the hole, outside the hazard. Now in this option, clearly we have a big tree in our way, and that's probably not our best choice. We'd probably want to drop over here. But imagine if this tree was actually right here. If that was the case, it might make a lot more sense to go drop on the opposite margin and then play towards the green without the tree in your way. This option, just like the one previously, the club length options are only available for red marked water hazards. If you cross into a yellow marked water hazard, you cannot measure club lengths when you're taking relief. One other comment, there's a myth out there that you can drop on your line of flight. That is not an option under this water hazard rule. In fact, it's not an option under the rules of golf under any rule. So if you start from the tee and you hit your ball into a water hazard, you can't go back on the line that you played and drop anywhere on this line. You've seen all the options that you have available to you, and those are the only options available under this rule. As you play your next few rounds, take a look at how all of these options work with various hazards on the course that you play. You'll become more comfortable quickly selecting the best option in any situation, and you will see that sometimes that puts you closest to the hole is not always the best. Sometimes a better option would be to drop a little bit further away. And one last note, when you're measuring club lengths under the rules of golf, whether it's this rule or any other, you can use any club that you've selected for play. Whether this is your longest club like a driver or a long putter, or your shortest such as a standard length putter. As you begin to understand the rules of golf more completely, you will learn why a smart player will select different club lengths in different situations. Okay, that's it for Lesson 4. Now it's a good time to take the quiz. If you're watching on YouTube, the Oregon Golf Association website is linked in the info below, and if you're already on the OGA website, the quiz is immediately below this video. Thanks for your interest in the rules of golf, and good luck on the quiz.